What is good, YouTube? Coming at y'all with another fiery mock draft. This is going to be one of the best mock drafts you've ever seen right here. Today's special guest, we have Trash Talk Patriots, RSG, NFL Mocks, and RYAX Draft. You can find their Instagram links in the description. These guys have great pages on Instagram. Please go check them out. Um, Again, this is going to be one of the best mock drafts. It's going to follow the same format as the prior mock drafts, as we've had some trades already take place. And also, let's go ahead and talk about those trades before we introduce everybody. First trade that took place was the Kansas City Chiefs moving up to the 14th spot in exchange for two picks. They got rid of the 29th pick and the 30th pick to move up, and also the Chargers swap picks. They swapped the 17th pick for the 13th and gave up their third rounder. So both teams moved up, and I'm going to go ahead and let Trash Talk Patriots go ahead and introduce himself. You're on the floor.
Yeah, greetings from Germany. Hello, everybody.
Hey, RSG NFL Mocks. You can find me on Instagram. I'm drafting for the AFC South and the NFC East.
Cool. And if y'all wanted to know, there's only four people this mock draft. Some things happened. Had to basically chop it down in half. People canceled. But I'm going to be representing the AFC South and also going to be representing the AFC West and the NFC West. So let's go ahead and get this draft going. All right. So with the number one overall pick, the Jaguars are on the clock.
Yeah. So with the first pick, we're gonna keep it short. Aiden Hutchinson.
Great pickup. Aiden Hutchinson is one of the best players in the draft. He has pretty much the highest ceiling, if you ask me. We on to the Detroit Lions. You are on the clock.
With the second pick, the Detroit Lions choose Kayvon Thibodeau, Oregon.
Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon going to the Detroit Lions. Great pickup for them. I'm pretty sure they would love having them on their team. Next up, we have the Houston Texans with their first pick. You're on the clock.
So with this pick, you can go two options, but I'm gonna go with my number one tackle on the board. I'm going Evan Neal.
Evan Neal coming off the board early here, tackle out of Alabama, had a great season with Alabama, had a great career, if you ask me, playing almost every position on that offensive line. Next up, we have the New York Jets. You're on the clock.
Yeah, it's tough for me, but the New York Jets select Ahmed Sauce Gardner, cornerback, Cincinnati.
Great pickup for them. Getting Sauce Gardner, locking up that cornerback position for years to come. Sauce Gardner is one of the best cornerbacks in this year's draft. He's basically a lock. But we're on to the New York Giants. You're on the clock.
So we're gonna protect Daniel Jones here, give him a fair shot. We're gonna go Sticky Icky, Ikem Ekwonu.
Great pickup. Ike Ekwonu had an amazing season for North Carolina State, knocking people out with his right and left clubs that he's got going over there. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers. You are on the clock.
They only got one pick inside the top 100. They got to nail it. I'm going Charles Cross from Mississippi State.
Great pickup. Great way to break down that pick as well. Charles Cross, great pickup for the Panthers. They need somebody on that O-line for years to come, and Charles Cross could be that guy. Next up, we have the New York Giants. You're on the clock.
So with our first pick, we want Icky. We're gonna go Trevon Walker, who has the highest ceiling in the draft. So we're gonna take him here.
Trevon Walker coming off the board early. We have him coming to the New York Giants with the 7th overall pick. He had an amazing season with Georgia, and he absolutely crushed the combine. Next up, we have the Falcons on the clock.
They went best player available last year. Why not again? Kyle Hamilton.
Now we got Kyle Hamilton coming to the Atlanta Falcons. Great pickup for them. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks with their pickup that they got, or what they picked that they got from my Denver Broncos. You're on the clock.
This The Seattle Seahawks select the second best cornerback, Derek Stingley, LSU.
Great pickup for them. They need some help at that cornerback position, and Derek Stingley Jr. is coming off a injury, but if he didn't get injured, he definitely would have been a top, maybe even 3 pick in this year's draft. Has huge upside. I'm pretty sure you've seen the clips of him locking up Jamar Chase in college. He could definitely do that at the next level as well. Next up, we have the Jets with yet another pick. You're on the clock.
Yes, and with pick 10, it's tough one for me, but it's Garrett Wilson, Ohio State, wide receiver.
Garrett Wilson coming off the clock to the New York Jets. If this happens, I'm pretty sure Jets fans will be elated. I feel as though Garrett Wilson is going to have a great NFL career. I've seen him with his multiple releases. He's absolutely shredding people in college. And also, he has great route running, which is hard to find nowadays. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders with the first pick with their new name. You're on the clock.
So with this one, we're going to go target receiver, and we're going to go with Drake London out of USC.
Great pickup. Drake London had an amazing career at USC with not so great quarterback play. I'm sorry, y'all. One of the guys is still trolling me that was supposed to be in here. But next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings. You're on the clock.
The Minnesota Vikings select George Kalafdis, edge rusher, Purdue.
Great pickup. George Karlaftis had an amazing season, and he fits the mold that the Minnesota Vikings are going to be going forward with on the defensive end. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs with the next pick. Now, with this pick here, I did trade 2 picks for 1 because I felt as though the Kansas City Chiefs needed to go get one of the premier wide receivers in this year's draft. And the guy I was really targeting actually got picked up a few picks before. So we have to go with the next best wide receiver available. And if you ask me, his name rhymes with Blamison Williams. His name is Jamison Williams. Had an amazing career at Alabama, and I think he can definitely transfer that over to the next level. Next up, we have the Chargers with another pick that I traded up for. This pickup, I traded the Ravens for the 17th pick in their 3rd round to move up to get one of the best players in this year's draft. Now, the player that I was really hoping to get was Mr. Icky, but Mr. Icky is no longer available. So we're going to go with one of the best cornerbacks in this year's draft. Now, Pro Football Focus isn't giving him that much love. And to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even think I'm going to pick him. I think I'm going to go with one of the best offensive linemen in this year's draft. His name is Bernard Raymond. Next up, we have the Eagles. You're on the clock.
Okay, so with this pick, we're going to go Chris Olave, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Great pickup. Chris Olave playing on the opposite side of Devontae would be amazing. Great speedy guy, and he has amazing releases coming off of the line of scrimmage as well. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints. You're on the clock.
Looking at Chris Olave, but since he's not here, you got to get a receiver, Traylon Burks.
Great pickup, Treylon Burks. He has football speed. He has a football body, and all he needs is a little bit better IQ out there on the football field, which I'm pretty sure he'll get playing in New Orleans. Great pickup for them. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. You're on the clock.
They need a cornerback. It'll make their defense so much better. Give me Trent McDuffie.
Great pickup for them. Trent McDuffie out of Washington. Be a perfect fit for the scheme that they're running there in Baltimore. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. You're on the clock.
We're gonna go with the guy who dominated the Senior Bowl, Jermaine Johnson at Florida State.
Great pickup. Jermaine Johnson had an amazing career at FSU. He's going to be one of the sleepers in this year's draft, if you ask me. I feel as though he's going to be one of those players that you'll see on any given Sunday. He had 25 hurries with 14 sacks, and he, stated previously, he absolutely lit up the Senior Bowl. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints with yet another pick. You're on the clock.
I'm going to be going tackle with this pick with Trevor Penny.
Great pickup. Trevor Penning, one of the best tackles in this year's draft. And hopefully he'll be able to protect Jameis or whoever is the quarterback for the Saints next season. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers finally getting on the clock.
I mean, this is their dream draft right here. Get him Malik Willis at number 20. That's my pick.
Great pickup for them. Malik Willis, great quarterback for them. Tremendous upside. The great thing about Malik Willis going to the Pittsburgh Steelers is that he doesn't have to play in his first year, which would be excellent for him. Mike Tomlin absolutely loves the guy. If he's there at 20, no way he's going to be there at 21. Next up, we have the New England Patriots. You're on the clock.
The New England Patriots pick 21. Best linebacker for me, Nakobe Dean, Georgia.
Great pickup. Nakobe Dean, one of the best linebackers in the country. He was one of the leaders on one of the best defenses in the country. You can look at his stats there, ladies and gentlemen. He was pretty consistent in the years that he started. Pro Football Focus gave him an overall 91.7 grade. And if you follow Pro Football Focus or have been, anyone with a 90 or above is a good starter in the league at least. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers. You're on the clock.
It's tough. We need weapons for Rodgers, but I choose the best available player, John Davis, defensive tackle, Georgia.
You're having an amazing draft. Jordan Davis out of Georgia, one of the best players in this year's draft. This guy is 340 pounds and runs a 4.7 40. I know people 200 pounds less than that can't even do it. And yes, I'm talking about myself. Don't judge me. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. That's my pick coming up here. I'm going to go with one of the best offensive linemen in this year's draft. His name is Tyler Lindenbaum. He had an amazing career with Iowa. And next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys.
So with this pick, we're going to go with Zion Johnson, offensive guard, Boston College.
Great pickup for them. Zion Johnson had an amazing career. He's one of those refrigerator type offensive linemen. He's not being moved. He's doing the moving on the offensive line. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills. You're on the clock.
Yes, the Buffalo Bills, the Super Bowl window is open, and with the pick 25, they choose Devonta Wyatt, Georgia defensive line.
Another great pickup for them. Devontae Wyatt was one of those players on that amazing Georgia defense. You can look at his stats here. He had an amazing career. He blazed up the combine as well. And like I stated before, he's one of those players that Pro Football Focus gave a 90 grade to. So you know what that means. Next up, we have the Titans on the clock.
Yeah, so with this pick, we're going to go with my number one linebacker. We're going to go Devin Lloyd.
Great pickup for them. Devin Lloyd, prototypical 2022 NFL linebacker. He plays the run pretty well. He can't get better. He plays the pass amazing, and he has sideline to sideline speed. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks. You're on the clock.
With Ryan Jensen retiring, and they got to keep Brady up, so I'm going Kenyon Green.
Great pickup, Kenyon Green. He's going to be great in that Tampa Bay offense. If he goes there, I would love to see it. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers. You're on the clock.
Pick 28, Green Bay Packers choose Sky Moore, Western Michigan wide receiver.
Great pickup. I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers would love this pick. Sky Moore had a great career at Western Michigan. Sky Moore, he has amazing speed. As you can see, as I stated before, he has a over 90 PFF grade. So you know what that means. On 125 targets, he had 94 catches on 1,029 yards and 10 touchdowns. This guy put up numbers for days, and he's going to be putting up numbers at the next level with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. Next up, we have the two picks that the Chiefs traded out of. The Texans, you're on the clock.
So with the first one, we're going to go ahead and select Christian Watson, wide receiver, North Dakota State.
Great pickup, Christian Watson, wide receiver out of North Dakota State. He has an amazing story. In high school, he wasn't even regarded as a top tier player. He wasn't even regarded as the best wide receiver on his team, but he battled, put some amazing film out there this past season. And now you look at him, he's for sure a number one or a first round draft pick. We have the Texans with another pick. You're on the clock.
And with this one, we're going to go with Daxton Hill out of Michigan.
Great pickup, Dax Hill, amazing IQ. I love watching him play football. Next up, we have the Bengals. You're on the clock.
Top 5 corner in my head, Kyrie Elam out of Florida.
Great pickup, Kyrie Elam had an amazing career at Florida. He's going to be one of those players that you will be hearing about on Sundays. Next up, we have the Lions with the final pick in the first round. You're on the clock.
The Lions will pick Andre Booth Jr., Clemson cornerback.
That is a steal for them. I'm pretty sure they will love having Andrew Booth solidify that first round for them. If you guys don't mind, I am going to go ahead and just review some of the first picks that have already happened here in the draft. Some picks that I definitely want to highlight here is the New York Jets picking Ahmad Gardner with the 4th pick. It's amazing for them. I'm pretty sure they will love having them. Also, I would like to highlight in the top 10, Garrett Wilson going to the Jets. That'll be able to hopefully give Zach Wilson somebody else to throw to. Another pick I want to highlight in the next 10 picks is Chris Olave joining the Eagles here. With him alongside Devontae, I'm pretty sure that they will have amazing targets for Jalen Hurts to throw to. Another pick I would like to highlight is again with the Eagles, getting Jermaine Johnson. It's an amazing pickup for them. If he falls to them, they will love this guy. He's great on and off the field, has amazing tape. He's just an all-around amazing kid. If you talk to the coaches at Florida State, they'll say the same exact thing that I'm saying. Next pick that I would like to highlight is Malik Willis going to the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 20th pick. They absolutely love him. Mike Tomlin will actually absolutely love getting this guy. You may even see them on draft night moving up to get him. He's one of those guys that'll be elite at the next level with all the tools in his bag. He just has to put everything together. The next pickup that I would like to highlight is Kenyon Green. I'm going to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Great pickup for them. Tampa Bay needs to keep Tom Brady happy and his jersey clean for this next season here, as this may be the last season for Brady, but who knows? Brady doesn't even know. Now let's go ahead and get into this second round. The Jags, you're on the clock.
Yeah, so with this first pick, we're going to go Lewis Cine, safety out of Georgia.
Great pickup, Lewis Cine, one of the best DBs in this year's draft. He has a great IQ as well in the football field. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions with yet another pick. You're on the board. O'clock.
Okay, the Detroit Lions will try it with Jared Goff. So with the 34th pick, the Detroit Lions will choose Leo Chenal, linebacker, Wisconsin.
My computer froze right there. Leo Chanel, coming out of Wisconsin, had an amazing career. Wisconsin is known for breeding out top tier players in the NFL. NFL, pretty rough guys that are going to be elite at the next level. As I've stated before, he has an over 90 grade on PFF, so you already knows what that means. Next up, we have with the next pick, the Jets on the clock again.
So the Jets will pick Nick Binotto, edge rusher, Oklahoma.
Great pickup for the Jets if they happen to get him. Nick is one of those glue guys, or he was for the Sooners. Um, his hurries last season were absolutely ridiculous. 33 hurries this season, 32 hurries last season with 2 less played games. He's one of those guys, you put him out there, he's going to get it done. Yes, he only had 8 sacks in both of those seasons, but the hurries speak for themselves. When you're playing in a conference or playing against a schedule like this, a lot of times you'll have these quarterbacks running drag routes the whole game or screen plays the whole game. So him just getting these hurries is absolutely amazing with everything that he was up against. Next, we had the Giants. You're on the clock.
Yeah, so with this pick, we're going to go with Jalen Petre out of Baylor.
Great pickup out of Baylor. Jalen Petre had an amazing career with the Baylor Bears. Next up, we have the Texans with another pick.
Yeah, and with this one, we're going to go with Boy Mafe out of Minnesota.
Boy Mafe out of Minnesota. Let's go ahead and check him out. Boy Mafe is one of the guys that I haven't had a chance to look at his film. So let's see what his stats say. Boy Mafe, PFF's giving him an 81.2 grade. He has 26 hurries in his last season here. Also, he posted up 7 sacks and he was able to play on 480 defensive snaps, which is pretty amazing. Next up, we have the Jets with yet another pick. You're on the clock.
The Jets select David Ojabo, Michigan edge rusher.
Great pickup for the Jets for years to come. David Ojabo was regarded as a top tier player in this year's draft, but we all have seen the terrible footage of him tearing his Achilles at his pro day. Absolutely terrible to see, but we all know adversity builds character. David Ojabo may be one of those players that you hear every Sunday from here going forward once he gets healthy. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears. You're on the clock.
The Chicago Bears select George Pickens, wide receiver, Georgia.
Oh, man, that's who I wanted to get. George Pickens finally coming off of the board. He had an amazing career at Georgia with mediocre play at the quarterback, if I say so. I watched every single Georgia game this past season, and I'm pretty sure that's what really hurt his PFF grade. He just didn't have a quarterback really delivering him the ball. George Pickens, one of those guys who can really make some plays at the next level. He has great 50-50 ball skills, and also he's coming off an injury that really hurt his draft stock. Next up, we have the Seahawks with the pick that they got from my Denver Broncos. I think with this next pick here, they're going to try to keep Drew Lock's jersey clean with getting one of the best tackles in this year's draft. Now, I do have to disagree with Pro Football Focus with who they have here as the next best tackle available. If you ask me, I feel as though the next best tackle available is my guy out of Central Michigan, Luke Goddard. I think he has amazing tape. He didn't let anything really bother him there at Central Michigan. He was able to keep his quarterback's jersey clean. As you can see, he didn't give up a single sack. He did give up 4 hurries, but he didn't give up a single sack in 742 offensive snaps played. And you see the grade that PFF gave him. Next up, we have the Seahawks with yet another pick. With this pick up here, I think they're going to go with a This is a difficult one. Give me a quick second here as I review who all is available. Oh, yeah. With this next pick here, I think they're going to go with one of the best cornerbacks that is here on the board. This cornerback had an amazing season for the Auburn Tigers. He actually didn't give up a single touch. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. He didn't give up more than one touchdown this past season here for the Auburn Tigers. His name is Roger McCreary. We're on to the next pick, which is the Indianapolis Colts.
We're going to go with Abraham Lucas, tackle, Washington State.
Great pickup for them. They're looking to keep Matt Ryan's jersey clean here with Abraham Lucas. He had an amazing career with Washington State. He was a redshirt senior, so he stayed in college for 5 years, and he learned a lot. As you can see, when he first got on the field, he improved each and every season. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons on the board again.
Would you mind showing me the receiver? Sorry.
Yes, sir. No, it's perfectly fine. If you guys want to see anything, feel free to ask.
Give me Jahan Dotson. Sorry.
Jahan Dotson, one of the best wide receivers in this year's draft. Jahan Dotson had an amazing career at Penn State. When he had a top wide or a top quarterback thrown to him, he posted up 884 yards, and he just had a monster season this past season, posting up 1,182 yards. Next up, we have the Browns. You're on the clock.
Give me Travis Jones.
Could you say it again? I couldn't hear you.
Travis Jones, Connecticut.
Travis Jones, great pickup for them. Travis Jones had an amazing career at Connecticut. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. You're on the clock.
On the other side of it, Dafe Elway, give Arnold Ebiketie a shot.
Great pickup. Arnold Ebiketie, one of the best edge rushers in this year's draft. He has tremendous upside as well. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings. You're on the clock. Actually, the Vikings is me, and I'm on the clock. So with this next pick, I am going to say that this is my division, right?
No, it's my division. So
it's yours. Okay. I'm glad I didn't make that pick. Okay. You're on the clock.
So I select Quay Walker, linebacker, Georgia.
Great pickup, Quay Walker out of Georgia, one of the best defensive players on that stacked defense out of Georgia. With Quay Walker, you can see his stats kind of similar to the rest of the players at Georgia. They all took a hit because there were so many good players at the Georgia football team. Now with Quay, he has amazing tape. He has pretty much almost everything that you ask for out of a linebacker coming out of college, and especially not being the captain on the team or being the best player on the team, if you ask me. He played his role and he played it well. Next up, we have the Commanders. You're on the clock.
So this one, we're going to go with Kyler Gordon out of Washington.
Oh, the cornerback. All right. Next, we have Kyler Gordon coming off of the board out of Washington. Kyler Gordon was the player I was thinking of earlier when I stated, I was going to state that he didn't give up a single touchdown in college. This is absolutely amazing, something that you may never see again. Now, Kyler did get injured last season, but still it's very, very, very rare that you have a cornerback play over 20 games in college and not give up a single touchdown. This guy is going to be amazing at the next level if he can keep that up. Next up, we have the Chicago Bears. You're on the clock.
The Chicago Bears select Tyler Smith, tackle.
Tyler Smith finally coming off the board out of Tulsa. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints. You're on the clock.
There's been some rumors about Desmond Ridder being a first rounder, and I think he fits the Saints the Saints overall what they want is out of a quarterback. So Desmond Ritter.
Great pickup for them, Desmond Ritter. I believe he's going to be one of those names that you hear on Sunday. The thing with Desmond Ritter, I believe that he has everything that I look for in a quarterback. He checked down. He read. He read very well. He won at the collegiate level, which is something that you don't see with a lot of the other quarterbacks in this year's draft. Desmond was actually able to bring his team on to win games on a consistent basis. He ran a pretty um, hefty offense where a lot of the plays that he ran in college will transfer over to the NFL. They'll just have a different name. But Desmond, once he gets the hang of the NFL, I'm pretty sure you'll be hearing about him. Next up, we have the Chiefs. And with this pick, I am going to go ahead and tackle a position for the Chiefs that they do not actually need. But in my opinion, they're going to go and get the best player available. And his name is Brees Hall. Next up, we have the Eagles. You're on the clock.
So with this pick, I'm going to go with the developmental corner, Tariq Woolen, cornerback out of UTSA.
Tariq Woolen, he's a player that I've been hearing a lot of here pretty recently. A lot of scouts and a lot of GMs are loving what they've been hearing out of this kid. Yes, he is a prospect. Yes, he needs to develop a little bit, but he has the intangibles, and that's what really counts at the next level. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're on the clock.
They got Najee Harris, Malik Willis maybe in year 2. You want to keep them all upright. Don't know how to say his name, but Daniel Falil.
Falali. We have Daniel Falali finally coming off of the board here. With him, he has been falling as his draft stock has been falling. I'm not quite sure what's been going on with Daniel Falali, but for some odd reason, his draft stock is falling. I believe that he'll be a steal for whatever team gets him. As you can see, he only gave up 1 sack last year out of 836 offensive snaps played. He's going to be great at the next level. Next up, we have the Packers with yet another pick. You're on the clock.
The Packers select Jaquan Brisker, Penn State safety.
Great pickup for them. Jaquan Brisker, one of the best DBs in this year's draft, and he'll be a great pickup for the Packers defense. Now we have the Patriots. You're on the clock.
The Patriots select with the 54 pick Drake Jackson, edge rusher, USC.
Nice pickup for them. Drake Jackson. He may fit well with the Bill Belichick defense that they have there. With him, he only recorded 6 sacks, but he has amazing tape. I would definitely advise you guys to check out his tape. He has a great motor, and I love watching him play football. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals with their pick. I am going to go ahead and select another offensive lineman to hopefully keep Kyler Murray happy, and hopefully he stays there with them after they see that he goes out, or that they went out and got another offensive lineman for him. Now with this pick here, give me a few seconds as I do a little bit of research on who I would like to pick. Yeah. All right. With this pick here, I'm going to go with Darian Kennard. He only gave up 1 sack last year. His tape is really amazing as well. I'm not sure why Pro Football Focus has him rated so low. If you ask me, there's no way he goes into that 3rd round still being on the board. Next up, we have the Cowboys with yet another pick. You're on the clock.
So with this one, we're gonna go with Logan Hall out of Houston.
Great pickup. Logan Hall was a great defender for Houston. With Logan, he has some pretty nice tape as well. There's some motor questions, but with almost every defensive lineman, there's motor questions. So that really doesn't matter. Next up, we have the Bills. You're on the clock.
The Buffalo Bills select Brees Hall, halfback, Iowa State.
Got him. I got him. I got him before you got to him. Chiefs got him. You hear me there? He got taken.
Sorry, guy. So the Buffalo Bills select Brian Asamoah, linebacker, Oklahoma.
Steal. Great pickup there. Brian Asamoah led the Oklahoma Sooners on defense. Great pickup there. You're having an amazing draft. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons with another pick.
He's a prospect who started out as a top 3 spot prospect before the year started. Didn't have a great 2021 season, but he still has all the keys to be a great NFL player. DeMarvin Leal out of A&M.
His name is spelled L-E. Yeah, there it is. DeMarvin Leal out of A&M. As he stated before, his draft stock has been falling, but we all know that builds character. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers with another pick. You're on the clock.
So it's difficult. The Green Bay Packers select Chet Muma, linebacker, Wyoming.
Oh, you about to make me cry. Chad Muma finally coming off the board. He is my hidden gem of the draft. I absolutely love watching this guy play football. He absolutely lit up the combine as well. Pro Football Focus gave him an over 90 rating, so you already know what that means. He posted over 100 tackles in his last season at Wyoming. He has the intangibles. All his teammates love him. There's nothing bad that I could find about the guy. His tape is there. There's nothing more you can ask for in a linebacker. He put everything out there, and he's going to be a great starter if he goes to the Packers. I would love to see it. But next up, we have the Buccaneers. You're on the clock.
They don't need much. We all know that, but you can never have too many edge rushers in the modern NFL. So give me Kingsley and Agbe.
You did better than I would. We got Kingsley coming off the board out of South Carolina. Let's go ahead and have a deeper dive into Mr. Kingsley's stats. So Kingsley, he's 6'1", 258 pounds, out of South Carolina, posted an 88.5 grade on Pro Football Focus. He had 25 hurries in his last season and posted 4 sacks on 16 hits. He also had 2 batted balls as well. Kingsley could definitely be a name you could be hearing on Sundays. Next up, we have the 49ers finally getting their first pick. With this pick, I would definitely like to offer a trade. All right. So with this pick, I would like to offer or package it with my guy or their guy, Deebo Samuels, in the 62nd pick for the Seattle Seahawks. First round next year, the first round they got from Denver. The second round they got for Denver. And where is Shelby? And I can't trade him. Okay, and Carlos Dunlap. Would the Seahawks be interested in this trade?
You're the Seahawks.
Thanks, bro. Um, if I'm the Seahawks, I would definitely decline this trade. I know I did offer it to myself, but it's a bad trade for them. As they gave up a lot to get those two picks out of Denver and giving up Carlos Dunlap as well. It's just not a good move, even though they would have two of the best wide receivers in the NFL today. So with this pick, the 49ers are going to have to select one of the best players in this year's draft. His name is Cam Taylor Britt. He may be playing a slot position for him. They just lost their nickel named Quan, and he could definitely be a great nickel at the next level, even though Pro Football Focus gave him a 74 grade. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, which is my pick here once again. And I am going to say with this pick, they are going to target a defensive player with this particular pick. Just having a look at everybody who was available. Give me a quick second here, fellas. My guy Chad Muma isn't there anymore. I don't know what to do. With this pick, they're going to go ahead and select John Pascal out of Kentucky. Had an amazing season with the Kentucky Wildcats. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. You're on the clock.
Can you show me the IOLs? So the only reason that they really lost this Super Bowl was due to their offensive line. They're going to stack as much as possible. Give me Dylan Parham.
Great pickup out of Memphis, Dylan Parham. No way this guy's going to that third round. He's one of the refrigerator players that I spoke about earlier. He had an amazing career at Memphis. As you can see, he played multiple positions, and this is something that the Bengals could definitely use at the next level. Great pickup. Next up, we have the final pick in this year's draft. This guy was going to be Chad Muma. It's my Denver Broncos, but Trash Talk Patriots went ahead and picked him up already. Great pickup, by the way. I am going to say that the Denver Broncos are going to go with one of the more unique players in this year's draft. Now, with Denver, they are loaded at the wide receiver position, but it is pretty surprising to see Alec Pierce drop down so far, and as well as these other wide receivers. But they're going to pick Troy Anderson out of Montana State. With the Denver Broncos, we're having some challenges at that position, and Troy could definitely be a great fit for Denver for years to come. All right, now give us a quick second here as we let Pro Football Focus divvy up this draft here. I just want to go ahead and give a shout out to all the gentlemen that came here for this draft. I really appreciate you guys. Your insight was amazing. Everybody watching this video, please go check out their channels. Their Instagram pages are dope, bro. Like, seriously, go check them out. It's going to be amazing. Hey, thanks, man. Letting me join. Just letting you know I'm available. Feel like a collab in general. Prep. Okay. If you guys want to go ahead and give everybody your ads, let them know where they can reach you at. Let's go ahead and get that going.
Yeah, so you can find my page on Instagram at RSGNFLMox.
You can find me on Instagram at RYAX Draft. Post a lot of profiles, like draft profiles for skill positions. Could check it out.
You can find me on Instagram, Trash Talk Patriots. Yeah, send me a follow and greetings from Germany.
And as Trash Talk Patriots stated previously, he's all the way in Germany, man. I definitely want to give you a shout out. If I had my speaker going, man, I'll be playing the music right now. Thank you for joining this
Thank you.
draft. It's like past midnight your time, so we really appreciate you joining. And all three of you guys, I definitely would join you. Would like to invite you onto my show anytime. Talk about anything sports related. It'll be amazing. You guys have amazing takes and insight on everything that happened here today. And if you guys wanted to know, I will be live for the NFL draft. If you want to come on to the show or just talk about it, definitely you're invited. Is nothing else that I have to say about it. Thank you guys for joining. With everything that we went through, we're supposed to have 4 other people, and you guys stepped up and took over for 4 other divisions. So I definitely want to give you guys another shout out. Thank you for watching this video, everybody. Adroit Talks. I'm out.